Welcome. My name is Leah and I am the owner of Leah Noell Design Co. And I am doing a raised stencil this afternoon. Sample board. If you guys are just joining, say hello. So I know you guys are here and comments are working. Everything's working how it should be. I like to pop in all week long and kind of do fun tutorials. And I'm actually going to be live on the Dixie Belle page tonight. And so I'm kind of getting this board ready for that. So I'm going to do a raised stencil, and then tonight at 7 o'clock CST on the Dixie Belle page, I'm going to show you guys how to use patina over a raised stencil. So it's going to be a fun day. Hey, thanks everyone for saying hi. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, Susan. Okay, so this stencil, oh my goodness, I just looked it up and I can't remember what it is. Anyway, it's from Redesign with Prima. And hey, Anissa. And so this is a Redesign with Prima stencil, and I really like their stencils because look at how thick that is. Do you see how thick that is? It's a really thick stencil, so it's really easy to create a raised stencil with it. So I know we should have went live together, and as I was actually sitting there waiting, I'm like, oh, I was gonna go live at noon, and then I saw you, and I'm like, oh goodness, I'll just wait a minute. Anyway, we should have. Hi, Annette. If you guys don't know, Anissa from This and That, we like to do lives together. And she went live just a little bit ago doing some canvas painting. So if you're into canvas painting, This and That, she just did a tutorial on her page. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead. This is, I'm not sure exactly. I was thinking maybe I just do one, but I kind of want a few. But I don't really know how to position it with just a few. So I'm going to kind of try and center this. This is actually, I want to say, this is right side up so that the small side would be facing down. This would be upside down, but I kind of like it better upside down. So I'm going to actually lower it a little because I want to be able to fit one like right over here. So you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to put one down here, and then I'm going to put two up here and just have three on this board so it looks good. So I have a nice straight line right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and line this up. I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to kind of eyeball. And this tape I've used a couple times. So I like to secure my tape on here. Also, I think I did put the colors in the description. The colors are in the navy and manatee gray. I did this sample board last night. I had a lady who had taken one of my, I have like one-on-one personal coaching where, you know, if you want just like, you want a half hour of individualized attention, if you have like business questions or creative questions, or you need help designing a piece, I do offer that. It's in the service section of my page. So if you're interested, just send me a PM. But I helped her through how to blend this look, and that's what we did. And then I thought, this is a perfect, I love this sample board because it's so big. So I don't know why I'm doing a raised stencil on it because I'm probably going to paint over it 150 times. But anyway, it'll be okay. But anyway, where was I going with that? We're going to do, I just really like the sample board because it's a good size. But I'm going to show you guys how to do the raised stencil. And by the time, it's going to dry within an hour. And then, hey Noreen, hey Mandy, hi Tony. And then when it dries, I'm going to put a coat of paint over it. And then tonight I'll do, I don't know if I'm going to do the, you know, whatever you guys want to see. Do you guys want to see? I might just do a mix of rust and bronze or copper patina. I am really into the rust patina right now. So I'm just going to kind of show you guys how to do patina over a raised stencil. So here's my raised stencil. Like I talked about, it's nice and thick. You can find this stencil on Amazon. You can't find it on Amazon, otherwise I would have linked it for you. I think you can get it at scrapbook.com. Just look up 3D raised stencil and you can find this stencil. So hey, from Knoxville, Tennessee. Thanks for sharing, Jerry. Yeah, if you guys have anyone you know, I appreciate it when you share because it helps me. If you guys have anyone you know that is into furniture painting or design, please share this with them so they have these tips. So I'm gonna use Dixie Mud today. Let me turn my little, there you go. Can you guys see that? Dixie Mud in white. And I linked this at the top. if you guys look at the top or in the comment section, I linked this product so it takes you straight there so you know what you're looking for. So this is Dixie Mud. And this stuff's really good. It's like, let me turn this light down a little so you can actually see. So it's really creamy. It comes in white, black, and brown. And I'm gonna use the white today. And all I'm gonna do is I taped my stencil down. I'm gonna give it a little more tape just to make sure it is secure. I'm doing the one on the bottom first. Let me turn that light back up so you guys could see. Thank you for shared for you. Thank you for sharing, Betty. All right, and I'm just gonna take my metal palette knife. I'm actually gonna tape it down just one more on the bottom. I like to get it kind of secured down so that it doesn't like try to pop up on me. I'm gonna tape here, anywhere where I can kind of see where it is. I have this stencil lined up with the lines, so it's a little bit straight. We'll save that tape for later. This is actually quite simple. I just take my mud and I put a little bit on and put a little more on just so I don't have to pick it back up. Okay, and I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna step on my board so it doesn't move. And I'm just gonna spread it on. Now the great thing about this stencil, opposed to other stencils, it's thick. So I'm gonna put this on one time and I'm gonna be done. It's gonna be thick enough to where it catches my patina that I'm gonna put on it later. Or your glaze, if you wanted to glaze with it, it's gonna be thick enough to catch your glaze or your wax or your Dixie dirt, whatever you're using for detailing. It's thick enough for that. But it's not so thick that it's gonna be like annoying. The other thing I really like about the Dixie Mud opposed to using other mediums is it sands back nice. So when I'm done, I'm gonna make this as like smooth as possible. But when I'm done, I'm just gonna take a little sandpaper and I can go over it. And it's gonna take any sharp edges off, super easy. And it's gonna be a smooth raised stencil. And I'm hoping I have this flat enough because I'm like working with one hand here. That it doesn't leak underneath. I don't think it will. But that's why I prefer the Dixie Mud, mainly because I can sand it back easier than like other mediums. So I just want to make sure it's all filled in. Now I really am not stencil friendly until lately. I started using these Prima stencils. I know some people have said that they like would build them up. I don't even know how to do that. I never really got into stencils until recently because I don't want to measure anything, right? Like I don't want to have to figure out the center of a piece. Like when I change hardware, I have somebody help me with that. Like I don't want to spend my time measuring. I just want to get it on and get to painting. All right, so it's on. We're just gonna take it off. Let me make sure we don't have any questions. So when do I use the Dixie Mud versus the Prima Mud? So I personally prefer the Dixie Mud. I have tried the Prima Mud and it's really good if you want a lot of texture. I don't want a lot of texture. I want to be able to sand this back a little bit. So that's why I prefer the Dixie Mud. If you want a ton of texture, the Prima Mud is going to provide more texture. This is going to be a lot smoother and a lot easier. So you can see it's on there and it's good to go. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a baby wipe and I'm going to clean the back of my stencil because I have some that, pulled up. But with the Dixie Mud, it sands back a lot easier. And the Prima stuff is great for other things if you want a lot more texture. after you paint, if you want to add a raised stencil and have a choice of color versus the plain white, yes. So I will paint, I'll paint over this. I would actually recommend that you, like put this on before you paint. But because this is like a blended color right here, okay? So it will be harder to blend over. Well, it won't be harder, but I just have to do it again. So I can blend over this. I can paint over it. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to paint over it. I might leave it white for a little bit more like character. And if I do that, I will seal it before I add the bronze patina. I'll seal it with like clear coat just to kind of give it a little, just so it's not like, I feel like the Dixie Mud needs something, it needs something to seal it before I'm going to add the patina paint. All right, so I'm just gonna go right here again. I'm gonna kind of try to center it a little bit. Maybe down. I'm gonna go down a little more and over. I'm gonna get this right on this edge so that I can add, I'm gonna be able to add another one right here. I'm thinking. I'm hoping that'll look okay. We'll see. You know what, let's do it like this. Let's turn it this way. I think that'll make it a little bit more, I think if we turn it this way, it's gonna be a little more like cohesive. Okay. What do you guys think? Like this, I think it's gonna be like more awesome looking. Some gilding wax, yes, I did. I did actually use a raised stencil and gilding wax before, and it was gorgeous. I want to try them with the, I really want to try them with the patina though, and so that's why I'm doing the sample board. I usually don't do sample boards for my furniture, but this I kind of wanted to do a demo because I've had so many people asking me about the patina and how it works, and so I wanted to do another demo on it this week. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And I wanted to try it with a raised stencil. Takes a lot of mud. Well, it really doesn't take. I mean, I'm really loading my brush up. Thank you, Darlene. I got this sample board. I think at probably Habitat for Humanity, and I wish they had more. Like I bought like 20 sample boards there before, and they were all small. But this one is like such a good, this one's a good size. I'm just gonna get it on. I'm trying to keep it even, okay? Can you guys see? Maybe I should turn this light down a little so you can see. There you go, I think that's better. So I'm just trying to get it even. I'm trying to even it out. But like I said, I like the mud because it's soft and I can sand it back. Okay. So I'm going to pull it off, and I'm going to tell you guys what right now, I don't want my stencils, I don't strive for perfection when I do stencils or transfers. I kind of like to give them a distressed look because I don't want to stress out over that. So I just kind of try to incorporate it into my look. So if this has a little bit, I'm going to try and pull it off as clean as possible, but if it has a little bit of residue on areas where I don't, like, where, okay. So you guys don't freak out over that when you're doing your stencils or you're doing your transfers. Doing, like, striving for perfection is just too hard. So you can see, I love it. It's looking good. And the back of my stencil is getting a little bit, I don't know if you can see. You can see like that. I don't know. I think you guys can see. They're good. This is a good time to like rinse it. Not in the sink. I would actually want to rinse this with the hose because you don't want to put Dixie mud down your sink or you might have a clog. Oh. Yeah, it stays on pretty well. Manitoba? I don't even know where that is. Thank you for your kind words, Darlene. So I'm just going to wipe it with a baby wipe. And I'm going to do the third one. And then we're going to let this dry. And then I'm going to lightly sand it back with just like a, I'm going to lightly sand it back just with a sanding block. Okay, so we clean that off a little bit. And then I'm either going to paint over it or I might just go ahead and give it a clear coat. I don't see, but I just want to like clear coat the mud just to kind of seal it before I do my patina over it. And I think that's really going to help just hold it on. But I think that this white actually contrasts nice. Now I could just paint over it. You could do that too. But I am liking the white contrast. So I'm just going to try to line this up right here. I had this over. I'm actually gonna, I never have a ruler. Just a second. Okay, so I'm gonna use a ruler just to kind of make sure, I should use my level, because I don't know if I'm level. I'm gonna try and just make sure that this is somewhat even. So, all right, right here. So the tops are even. I'm gonna scoot it over to almost this edge. Oh, it's over my edge and a little. All right. I just want to make sure my tops are even. So has anyone been watching any good Netflix lately? Any good shows going on? I don't watch a lot of TV, but we watched, oh, what did we watch last night? We watched, I got it on my brain. My husband turned on the documentary or the whatever of Motley Crue, which is like totally not my generation at all. I was like the Spice Girls generation. It was a pretty good movie. Like it was interesting. I liked it because it was a documentary, I think. But like I've been listening to Motley Crue all day and like that's something I would never have listened to before. So, what kind of Netflix movies are you guys into? Like, what do you recommend to watch? I don't like anything like too violent or anything. I like anything like, I love the Crown. The Crown was a really good one. I wish that those seasons would like come up quicker. Any good recommendations? I want to say it was on Netflix. Maybe it was Prime. I don't even know. I think we have Netflix. One of the two. Or the other one I watched back in December and just loved was The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Have you guys seen that? That's a good show. You got to try this? Yes, Mandy. This is super, super fun. Okay. This is probably too much to finish it. So I'm gonna, you guys can't see that. See, this is probably too much. So I'm just gonna scrape a little back into my jar. And I'm gonna go ahead, put it on. And I kind of want to do it with like a light hand, because as I'm scraping it out if I'm doing it with too heavy of a hand. So I'm just going to do it with a light hand like this. And I will seal this either with like clear satin before or I don't know. I think I'm just going to go ahead and seal it with like a top coat, like clear satin, and then I'll put the bronze patina over it, or the rust patina. But you can also just paint over it. If you're doing this on your furniture, I do recommend that you put primer over it or you seal it, because I always notice that any kind of like Dixie mud or wood filler will show through your finish if you don't seal it in some way. And I'm going to be honest, I think I have a couple things I have to top coat with gator hide, so I might just use what's left over on my sponge to seal this, since it is just a sample board. I'm not going to like go through all the work of trying to, you know, pull a different product out that I'm not already using today. So, okay, I think we're pretty even. I have some holes down here. All right, we're gonna pull it off and we're gonna see if I can use a level. I like to pull slow. Okay, so it looks pretty even. I think it's pretty. Did I provide a link? Yes, I provided a link for the Dixie mud. The stencils, I couldn't actually get a solid link for it. So if you go on scrapbook.com and look up 3D stencils, this will come up. This one will come up. It's from Redesigned with Prima. It's a newer one. It's from 2018. But we're gonna let this dry, and then I'll use a sanding block like this, and I'll just knock down the edges. And then I will seal it either with paint, clear coat, or you can use primer. I do like the white because I do actually have the ability to just put clear coat over it and it's still gonna look pretty. And then Dixie mud also comes in brown if you want it to look more like wood, or it also comes in black. So you can even, you know, do black, which makes it a little bit easier. Like if this is an afterthought like this is, and I have this white, you know, it's white and it's pretty, I could just put that clear coat over it. Right now I'm just kind of wiping off any areas that I got a little bit of the excess Dixie mud on. Just want to wipe them off and have it clean. And that is it. I hope that was helpful. And yes, scrapbook.com is where you can find the stencil. And they have other ones. Let me show you what other ones they have. These are some of the other ones I've used. I use this one just as like a stencil, but it's like a thick. It's just, they're thicker. I use this on the sides of my drawers a lot. And this one is, I don't use it as like a 3D stencil, obviously, but that's another one. And they're a little bit thicker. So they're so much easier to use. And then I think I have, oh, this is the same one. So that is where you can find those. But anyway, you guys, thanks for joining me. I'll be live on the Dixie Belle page at 7 o'clock CST, 8 o'clock EST tonight. And we're gonna kind of finish this board up. We're gonna do a little patina. We're gonna go through that whole process so you can see it. And then tomorrow morning, if you guys saw the piece I posted, if you saw the piece that I posted on Sunday and yesterday with the rust, I'm going to be writing a blog post about that where I'm gonna detail how to actually do the rust patina so that you guys have it all in one spot. So thanks for joining me, and I hope I see you guys tonight. Have a great day. Bye-bye.